Hi, everyone. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas outside. We're right around the corner. Look at this tie. Check this out. You got to get a zipped in view there of that. That's a little Santa tie. Very nice, Peyton.
Yeah, juggling some snowballs.
Yeah, and you actually got the Thunder socks on, too.
Yeah.
You got to see those.
Socks.
Look at those. I've got these socks on for Christmas.
Yeah, I need some Christmas socks.
So it says, getting lit.
Getting lit. Nice.
All right. Well, anyways, let's talk about the weather forecast here. Don't have a whole lot of time. So you saw maybe you saw the Slater. You're coming on right now and watching this Facebook Live. The plot thickens for Christmas Day.
It's getting a little interesting.
I think so. And we talked about it yesterday a lot, but let's look at the radar real quick. Obviously, there's the rain that we mentioned that we talked about. And I'll tell you this, there's some pretty good rain coming down right now. So especially now moving into northwestern Benton County.
Yeah, I even saw some lightning bolts just north of Tahlequah.
You did?
Yeah, a couple of flashes, like two or three flashes.
How about that? So there's Decatur. You can see the raindrops on the camera. Also, if we look at, let's look at a Fayetteville camera here. Let's look at Kessler Mountain. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a little bit of rain coming down. But I know that's not what you're here for. You want to know about the Christmas holiday and what you can expect for traveling. Well, first of all, you got that blog finished, right?
Yeah, published it just a little bit ago,
all right.
A little before 8 o'clock.
We're going to share that, let people know where that's at. But first of all, let's take a look at what's ahead for the Christmas weekend. That's basically what we're going to cover for most of this. So we're still expecting rain and the potential for heavy rain. Now, this system Peyton, it's been hanging off the West Coast for the last several days.
Oh, it's been an emotional roller coaster in the weather lab because you see it churning. It's such a big system, and then it just slows down. You're like, oh, all right, take your time. Why don't you?
It's been in the Pacific Northwest on Monday, Sunday and Monday. We were watching it and looking at it, and now it's finally starting to get a kick to the east. Well, I can tell you this. There are a lot of little spins within this big spin. So here's a look at the Christmas Eve storm. One thing you're going to notice, there's cold air to work with. You can tell that because you see these. These are called alto cumulus clouds. Alto cumulus clouds represent very cold air aloft. This is what sailors know as the mackerel sky. So
mackerel skies.
Mackerel sky. That's what you got. So mackerel skies and horses' tails, mares' tails makes lofty ships carry low sails, meaning they know a storm's coming, so they don't want to have those sails up high when the wind really cranks up. Okay, so this is what we've got here. When we zip in, there's the rain that's happening now, but this is something new that we introduced, or the Weather Prediction Center introduced. This is the day 4 convective outlook. And by the way, I noticed you changed the banner because I actually meant to do that. It said day 3.
No, that was just for Fox. The Fox banner said day 3.
Really?
I noticed that too.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, well, day 4, we'll change that for Fox. But day 4, the excessive rainfall outlook, this has been increased because the potential for heavy rain is definitely looking pretty likely. Now, if we look at the amount for rain, we're talking locally 1 to 2 inches with up to 3. Now, some of this is also included for tonight and into tomorrow, but the majority of the heavy rain and the potential for heavy rain rates, which might lead to a little bit of flash flooding, will be Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. So here's the latest model. This continues to update more and more, but 9 o'clock in the evening on Saturday. So this is right before Christmas Eve. Here's Christmas Eve, 6 o'clock in the morning. Me personally, I think this model's too fast. Now, there might be a piece of energy that brings some rain and storms, but this isn't the last of it. It looks like by now, 3 o'clock, the storm system's gone. It's already out of here. I don't necessarily believe that. I think there's more energy on the way. In fact, you can see this when we look at the European model. But what is all this talk about winter weather? Well, what do you think, Peyton? What's the reason for this winter talk?
Well, we have a lot of energy coming in behind the low pressure that's developing with this rain Sunday. All that wraparound precipitation, there's embedded energy coming in with that. It's going to bring some pretty cold air, not just the Pacific Northwest air, but possibly some Arctic air.
Yeah.
That's going to be really cold, but will everything line up? That is the question over the next couple of days.
That's right. So you said it perfect, and I can tell you this, that there's going to be a lot of dynamics in the atmosphere that's going to allow this column in the atmosphere on the cold conveyor belt side, on the western side of this big low, to possibly squeeze out some snow. Now, the question is, how far south does that make it?
Right.
The latest kind of shows it clipping northwest Arkansas. We'll get to that, and I'll show you that in just a second. But Brent has a question. Why is there not an excessive rainfall outlook for tonight's system? Because tonight's system is like a quarter to a half an inch. So, yes, there's rainfall, but excessive rainfall just basically means flooding. Yeah. And we'll show you those totals here coming up in just a bit. But here's what we've got with, again, going back to the graphics. Here's where this cold air starts wrapping around. Now, look west of our area and northwest of our area near Wichita. So this is where the wraparound happens on Christmas Day in the morning. So the December 25th, everybody's kind of getting up. The parents are getting up from the kids, waking up with Santa arriving overnight. And then look at this now. This is where you get into Monday evening. You got the system lifting, but at the same time, you've got some cold air that's wrapping around. It is not out of the realm of possibility. While it's not going to be impactful, you might be able to see some snowfall.
Yeah, definitely not impactful. The surface temperatures will be just above freezing.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be like Arkansas slushy.
That's a great way to put it. I kind of call it, and Crystal coined this, Instagram snow. You can see it, you can video it. It's nice. It doesn't cause a whole lot of issues. Now, here's where things get interesting, though, is that this cold air just keeps wrapping around. Now, it's still snowing on December 26th, according to this, in southwest Missouri and southeast Kansas. I do believe this because there's a lot of energy. There's all these little what we call vorticity maximas, basically these vorticity lobes that roll in, and that's the spin in the atmosphere. And then when we move along here, and notice how that model the clouds are moving, but the precip isn't. So then it's kind of gone, and then it kind of moves out, and then you don't see a whole lot happening. Now, this model only goes to December 31st. There's a chance that maybe in early January, another system moves in.
Yeah, maybe. It's still a long ways out.
Very long.
The long-range ensembles definitely hinting at a pretty good change coming
now.
To start the new year.
Yeah, there's going to be colder weather. So if we look at this on the future track, there's the rain that comes in Christmas Eve, and this is no doubt. This is a no-brainer. We went 100% for the chance of rain. It will be widespread. There will likely be delays for flights, unfortunately. And then we'll have to wait till that system moves out. Now, at this point, wraparound starts developing. This is Christmas Day, and look at how close it gets. It's just to our north, but I think a few flurries will be possible, and that's actually a lot less on the 18Z, isn't it? I didn't see that yet. So the 18Z is updated, and it still shows it, but it's just to the north. So. But if you look on ensembles and stuff like that, now look, there's a more cold weather coming in. Now, where does that come from? It all comes from all those vorticity maximas.
Yeah, we can show that too.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's show that what we're talking about. So vorticity is a meteorologist tool, and what we do is we look at this to basically detect the spins in the atmosphere. So all you see right here, first of all, what you're seeing on the screen are the heights. These are the 500 millibar heights. And then you're going to notice as we put this into motion, there's the big system churning off the west coast, getting a kick to the east. Now there's another system diving in from the north near Billings. Now look at all this. Every one of these little circles or one of these little color splotches, if you will. I think that's the best way to color blobs. Those are all spins in the atmosphere because the atmosphere is a fluid. So you can't just think of it as just a cylinder spinning. That's not it. No. And then you can see that energy swinging in. Now look at what happens to the north here. There's that wraparound. Colder weather starts piling in. You got another system that's diving in behind it. That I personally think might bring a little bit of winter weather potential.
Yeah, that's why we added that 20%.
Yeah, so you can see that. And remember, it's not right over the spin, it's ahead of it. That's where you get the strongest lift. It's called vorticity advection. And PVA is rising motion. So negative omega, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Wow, taking me back to math days there. So there's that system coming in, and look, there's another one that's going to keep the cold air around. And if you look at the Weather Prediction Center, I think they're capping, as the young millennials will say, capping because they have it above normal temperatures.
Yeah,
It doesn't look normal. Yeah, cap.
Yeah.
It's cap. Because look at this. This is the 850 temps that are diving in, and I just think it's going to be colder than what it shows. And look, this cold air continues to plow south. Look at that,
man.
Near Chicago. How can you tell me that's going to be above average?
Yeah.
I just no. Now we might not get that Arctic air totally in here, but man, it's close. So yeah, that's what we're seeing there. Evan's got a good question. My Energizer Super Weather Teen. He says Saturday afternoon temperatures in the 60s. You think there'll be some isolated storms? I don't think there's any energy on Saturday for thunderstorms.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
No, there's no energy for thunderstorms. Now, Sunday afternoon, well, it depends on how long the break is between the morning round and the afternoon or evening round. But I think there will just be too much cloud cover to allow for any instability to develop.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I just don't think there's going to be thunderstorms on Saturday. If we get into the mid 60s, dew points in the lower 60s, you just don't have any major cooling aloft. You have a lot of, southwesterly flow. That's going to cause lift and some drizzle. That's going to be on Saturday. But Sunday, that's when the energy comes in. Thunderstorms definitely a possibility. What is going on here?
Yeah, what is going on?
I think I was tracking a system that was all the way. That was that one that came in and brought brought the rainfall that we were watching. Or I can't even remember. What were we looking at? I was looking at it. I was looking at. You were off. You were off. I was looking at a system that was coming from. Oh yeah, that was the system that caused the tornadoes in Tennessee. We were tracking that system all the way west, north of Japan.
Yeah, I remember
and
you and Zach going through all that
and
stuff.
kind of going through. Yeah. So here's a look at the vorticity for the GFS. It's a different model. It's the American model. It's a longer range. It actually goes longer than the European too, 384 hours out, which is basically kind of worthless. But look at all those little pieces of energy. My goodness. There's no way the models are going to exactly depict where precipitation is and at what time. That's just not happening.
Yeah, there's constant energy pouring in from the poles continuously, and they're sure as heck not going to handle that.
That is just going to be why do I have to have this system coming in on Christmas Eve? I mean, like literally the day we fly. So there's that system. Look at that. Wow, that's got some energy with it.
Oh wow.
But maybe a little too far north. And then you can see more of the low wrapping around. There's another system diving in from the west. All this is going to be chaotic motions with this low. There's so many chain reactions to the forecast that I just hard pressed to say that winter weather is not a possibility. Wow, look at that next system coming in. That's some cold weather, man.
Not a possibility?
Yeah, I'm saying I don't. What did I say? I said I don't see why the models are saying it's not a possibility. Yeah. So anything severe coming to Bentonville now? No, it's just some rain. So just a little bit of light rain. That's what we mentioned. That rain would be moving in. So, well, guys, we almost got Fox 24 News at 9 coming up here pretty soon. We've got Chad Mira who's anchoring. Normally does KNWA, but you get pretty slim pickings when you get to the holidays, which, by the way, reminds me that I have to say this will be my last Facebook Live until the new year.
All right.
I'm going to be gone. And but you know what? It probably won't be the last for you.
Yeah, definitely won't be the last for me.
Yeah, so Peyton's going to be holding down the fort. Josh is here. So we got 2 out of the 4 meteorologists. Yeah. So basically, Zach is going to be gone. What's the history of snowfall in Raleigh-Durham? It's a good question. One I'd have to look up, Theodore, because I don't know that off the top of my hand. If you're talking about White Christmas, I know it's probably pretty low.
Yeah, probably pretty low. We
could look at that if that's what you're wondering about White Christmas. You won't see a White Christmas. There's absolutely no way. It's way too warm. The storm system has the cold air pouring in behind it, which is over us. So it's not really impacting you. You want to see? Let's bring up that white Christmas graphic here. So I want to wish everybody a very happy and safe Christmas. And Hanukkah is coming close to an end too, isn't it? Yeah. And I just wanted to wish everybody happy holidays, happy New Year. And hey, we'll see you guys later. And I know they're going to be taking care of you and have you in good hands. So
yeah,
I'm excited to spend some time with the family. We're celebrating Christmas tomorrow morning. In fact, the kids are probably going to get up at they were talking how early they were going to get up. So not looking forward to that.
4 a.m.
Up early.
Yeah, 4 a.m. is a little early, but let's take a look here at White Christmas historical chances. Ready? We'll see if this shows up. So this is, it's like basically a 0 to 10% chance.
Yeah.
For Raleigh, Durham. Now, yeah, Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina. A little bit more when you get farther west in the Appalachians. So you're talking around 10 to 25, but it's just not a real great chance. So, and chance of that's
I know the banner says 2018, but
yeah, that's not right. Yeah, we got to change that around. There's no reason. So next week, a little winter weather possible. Braden, we talked about it all. We have the wraparound coming with the system. It's going to be Christmas Day afternoon. I think there might be a little bit of winter weather potential. Now, it's not going to be a big deal at this point because it's not going to be super cold, but wintry precip, it's not out of the realm of possibility. It does make sense with the system.
it does make sense.
And it does make sense with that giant low and on the back side of the low. Now, that low might track a little farther north. Then the chances lift north. They're in southwest Missouri, the southeast Kansas, and not around here as much. So that's a possibility. But any last words, Peyton?
No. I do know that Facebook Live Sunday.
Definitely
Christmas Eve.
Sunday.
Yeah, probably.
Probably even
So, yeah.
Saturday, too, as we
Yeah,
get
maybe.
closer. So I will say this, that I'll leave you with this. The heavy rain potential is increasing. I think out of the entire weather story that I want to portray, probably the most significant thing that you need to be aware of is Christmas Eve, the heavy rain potential. And so this is what you're going to see. So this is what happens through Saturday. Not a whole lot. Braden will get that comment off the screen. And then this is when things start piling up. So you can see that we're going more all the way through about Christmas morning, and there's rain still coming down. Finally, by the evening, it starts to clear out, but then remember that little bit that comes in, just that few hundredths of an inch could be of the wintry variety.
Yeah.
So there you go. Some pockets of over 3 inches and mostly around 2 inches. You know what? This is a blessing too, because we need the rain, and we need the rain in a major way. I do got you. Braden's saying the 30th and 31st. That's a long ways. I got to go. I'm off the top. I'll see you guys later. All right. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. Merry Christmas.